Hey everyone, Mark Feldman here. So today I want to talk about a independence issue that is difficult for beginners. So if you're an advanced player, you're not going to have any interest in this, but if you are a beginner and so far mostly what you've been playing are beats like this, and that's kind of all you can do, and you want to start adding some more interesting bass drum things like 16th notes. In particular, the question that I've been getting asked a lot is, I want to play two bass drum notes in a row, and one of them doesn't line up with the hi-hat, and my hand wants to do what my foot is doing. I want my hi-hat to stay evenly playing eighth notes and then be able to play two notes against it, one which lines up with the hi-hat and one which doesn't. So here's two examples. Right now in that beat, all the two 16th note groups that I played started in between the hi-hat. So the first bass drum note, there was no hi-hat lining up with it. And then the second bass drum note, there was a hi-hat lining up with it. So that's option one. Option two is the reverse, where your bass drum, the first note will line up with the hi-hat and the second note will not, but it's still two 16th notes. So like this. Right, so both of those two note groupings were like that, lining up with the hi-hat note on the first note and the second note, no hi-hat in that note space. So the way to work on being able to do this is to slow everything way down and work on what those movements are. So that's going to be my eighth note. 1 and 2 and. And then my 16th note, the two 16th notes in a row are going to be like this. Right, so that's pretty slow. Right, so think of it like you can either just mimic what I'm doing, or you can think bass drum and hi-hat together, bass drum by itself, hi-hat. Bass drum and hi-hat together, bass drum itself, hi-hat. Now if I start speeding it up, right, so once you speed it up, you can see that it is in fact the same grouping and pattern and lines up the way you want to be able to do that as 16th notes. If you slow it down so much it's almost unrecognizable, your body will be able to execute it. That's all it is. That's all the first grouping is. So now the other version of it is the reverse, where the first note is not hitting with the hi-hat, but the second note is. I'm going to slow it down more. So that's all you have to do. Slow it way down, work on those two patterns, and then those will give you the ability to play and so that's kind of all there is to it. Just slow it down. Now you understand what the pattern is, and then slowly speed it up. Right, so if you want to play or then you want to slow it down to and if you want to play so just slow things down, focus on those two movements, bass drum hitting on the hi-hat together and then not, while you keep the hi-hat going but really slowly, and the reverse. And then you can put it into your beats. It's really kind of simple, but you just need to break it down like that in order for you to get there. And that's it for now. I hope you found this helpful. See you next time.